Have you ever wondered why some people rise while others stay stuck? What if success depends less on talent and more on mindset choices? Imagine two students facing the same failure, yet reacting completely differently inside. One believes they are not smart enough and stops trying altogether immediately. The other sees failure as feedback and continues improving step by step. That small difference quietly decides who grows and who gives up. Most people never realize their mindset is shaping their entire life outcomes daily. Your thoughts either build invisible walls or open powerful new doors ahead. Science shows the brain can actually grow stronger through consistent effort and learning. This means intelligence is not fixed, but constantly evolving with practice and persistence. Yet many people still believe success belongs only to naturally gifted individuals. Today, that belief begins to change as we explore growth mindset deeply. Every time you face failure, your mind starts a silent internal conversation. It either says, "I can improve," or "I will never be enough." That inner voice becomes the foundation of your future decisions and actions. People with fixed mindset avoid challenges because they fear looking incompetent publicly, but growth mindset individuals actively seek challenges as opportunities for self-improvement constantly. Think about learning to ride a bicycle for the very first time. You fell, struggled, and probably wanted to quit multiple times during practice. Yet persistence eventually turned confusion into balance and confidence over repeated attempts. Life works exactly the same way when you push beyond initial discomfort. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to stop learning consistently. The difference was not ability, but willingness to keep going forward. Your struggle is not a sign of failure, but a sign of growth. Here is the twist most people never consider about success and mindset. Your brain actually gets stronger every time you struggle and learn something. Neuroscience proves that effort literally rewires neural pathways for better performance. So difficulty is not your enemy, but your brain's training mechanism. Most people interpret struggle as proof they are not capable enough. But in reality, struggle is evidence that real learning is happening. Imagine treating every mistake as a gym workout for your brain. Suddenly, failure becomes exciting instead of something to fear or avoid. This perspective shift is what separates achievers from those who stay average. Growth mindset is not positive thinking, but evidence-based thinking about improvement. Once you see this truth, your relationship with challenges completely transforms forever. You stop avoiding difficulty and start seeking it intentionally for growth. Look at any successful person, and you will find repeated failures. Entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists all share stories of constant rejection early. They did not succeed because they avoided failure, but embraced it fully. Each setback became data that helped them adjust their next approach. Think about famous inventors who failed thousands of times before breakthroughs. They did not label themselves failures. They labeled experiments as learning steps. This mindset allowed them to persist when others would have already quit. In your own life, the same principle applies without exception or limitation. Whether studying, working, or building relationships, mindset shapes your results deeply. Every challenge becomes a training ground for resilience and mental strength development. You are either learning from experience or repeating the same cycle. The choice between growth and stagnation is made in your thinking daily. Now imagine deciding that every obstacle will improve you from today forward. That simple decision changes how you interpret everything happening in your life. Failure no longer defines you. It refines and strengthens your abilities consistently. Each attempt becomes a step closer toward mastery and personal excellence. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "How can I improve?" This question alone transforms your entire approach toward learning and achievement. Growth mindset is not something you are born with naturally. It is something you build through awareness, practice, and intentional reflection daily. Start by welcoming challenges instead of avoiding them whenever they appear. Train your mind to value effort more than instant perfection or approval, because in the end, Success belongs to those who refuse to stay the same. And your transformation begins the moment you choose growth over comfort today. Every time you face failure, your mind starts silent internal conversation immediately. It either says, "You can improve," or "You will never be enough." That inner voice quietly shapes your future decisions and daily actions significantly. People with fixed mindset avoid challenges because they fear looking incompetent publicly. But growth mindset individuals actively seek challenges as opportunities for improvement constantly. Think about learning to ride bicycle for the very first time ever. You fell, struggled, and probably wanted to quit multiple times during practice. Yet persistence eventually turned confusion into balance and confidence through repetition gradually. Life works exactly the same way when you push beyond initial discomfort. Every expert was once beginner who refused to stop learning consistently ever. The difference was not ability, but willingness to keep going forward anyway. Your struggle is not failure, but sign of meaningful personal growth ongoing. Every time you struggle, your brain strengthens itself through new connections formed. Most people misinterpret struggle as proof they are simply not capable enough. But science shows struggle is an essential part of effective learning process itself. Your brain literally grows stronger when you push through difficult situations repeatedly. This means effort is not weakness, but powerful form of development itself. Challenges are not barriers, they are training grounds for your mind growth. Each mistake contains hidden lesson waiting to be discovered through reflection careful. People who succeed treat mistakes as feedback rather than personal failure identity. Think of your mind like muscle that grows stronger under resistance progressively. Without resistance, muscles and mindset both remain weak and undeveloped over time. That is why comfort zones silently destroy long-term personal development potential completely. Growth happens when you willingly step into discomfort, despite feeling uncertain inside. Uncertainty is not signal to stop, but signal to learn further deeper. Every uncomfortable moment is opportunity for your brain to expand capacity significantly. Most breakthroughs come right after moments when people almost give up completely. The difference between success and failure is often just persistence itself consistently. If you keep going, failure eventually transforms into valuable experience over time. No successful person avoided failure, they simply learned from it repeatedly effectively. Your mindset determines whether obstacles become excuses or opportunities for growth ultimately. Fixed mindset says, "I cannot do this." Growth mindset says, "I can learn." This subtle shift changes everything about how you approach daily challenges completely. When you believe improvement is possible, effort becomes meaningful and motivating deeply. Without belief in growth, effort feels pointless and quickly leads to quitting. Your belief system is invisible driver behind every decision you make daily. Change your beliefs, and you automatically change your entire life direction forward. Growth mindset is built through repeated conscious practice and reflection daily consistently. It is not instant transformation, but gradual evolution of thinking patterns over time. You must repeatedly choose learning over ego in difficult situations, always consciously. Every choice reinforces either growth mindset or fixed limiting beliefs inside yourself. Over time, repeated choices shape identity and long-term personal outcomes significantly ultimately. Identity is not fixed. It is continuously shaped by experiences you choose. You are not stuck with current abilities or limitations permanently, ever truly. Every expert was once beginner who refused to stop improving themselves continuously. Progress is never linear, but always shaped through setbacks and comebacks constant. What matters most is not speed, but direction and persistence combined together. Small, consistent improvements eventually lead to extraordinary long-term achievements in life always. Growth mindset turns ordinary effort into powerful, transformational life force within you. Once you adopt it, your entire perception of failure changes completely forever. You begin to see failure as stepping stone toward greater success eventually. This perspective removes fear and replaces it with curiosity and courage naturally. Curiosity becomes fuel that drives continuous learning and self-improvement journey forward constantly. Courage allows you to act despite uncertainty and temporary discomfort without hesitation. Together, curiosity and courage form foundation of unstoppable growth mindset within you. When both exist, limitations begin to lose their power over you gradually. You stop fearing challenges and start embracing them as opportunities for growth. That is true transformation of mindset that leads. Here is the twist most people never realize about growth and success. Your brain is constantly changing based on how you think and respond daily. This means your intelligence is not fixed but highly adaptable and flexible. Every challenge you face is literally reshaping your brain in real time. Neuroscience confirms that effort strengthens neural pathways through repetition and persistence. So struggle is not failure, but proof that learning is actively happening. Most people misunderstand difficulty as a sign they are not capable enough. In reality, difficulty is the exact condition required for real growth. Think of your brain like a network constantly upgrading itself through use. The more you push it, the stronger and faster it becomes over time. Comfort feels safe, but slowly limits your potential and long-term development. Growth requires stepping into situations where you do not feel fully ready. That uncomfortable feeling is not danger, but expansion happening inside your mind. Every time you attempt something hard, your brain builds new connections immediately. These connections make future challenges easier and more manageable over time. That is why practice transforms beginners into experts through gradual improvement. No one becomes skilled without first being uncomfortable and uncertain repeatedly. The secret is not avoiding failure, but learning to use it effectively. Each mistake provides feedback that helps refine your next attempt intelligently. Without mistakes, your learning process becomes shallow and extremely limited long-term. People with growth mindset actively seek feedback to accelerate their improvement. They understand criticism is information, not personal attack on identity itself. This emotional separation allows them to learn faster and adapt continuously. Fixed mindset individuals often protect ego instead of improving actual performance levels. That protection creates invisible barriers that slow down personal progress significantly. Growth mindset breaks those barriers by valuing learning over appearing perfect. Perfection becomes less important than consistent improvement through effort and reflection. This shift transforms how you respond to both success and failure situations. Success becomes motivation to keep growing rather than reason to stop learning. Failure becomes direction instead of definition of who you are inside. When meaning of failure changes, emotional fear around it disappears gradually. Without fear, you begin taking more action and exploring new opportunities. Action creates experience, and experience builds confidence in your abilities. Confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you build. Every attempt, whether successful or not, adds to your personal confidence bank. Over time, repeated effort creates unstoppable belief in your ability to improve. This belief becomes foundation for long-term success in every area of life. You start noticing patterns in your learning and correcting them faster. Improvement becomes intentional instead of accidental or dependent on luck. That is when true mastery begins to develop in any skill area. Growth mindset turns learning into continuous journey instead of fixed destination. There is always another level, another skill, another challenge waiting ahead. This mindset keeps you evolving even after achieving initial success milestones. Without it, success becomes stagnation instead of continued progress and expansion. The twist is that your limitations are often self-created through belief systems. Change your beliefs, and you automatically expand what becomes possible for you. Nothing outside changes until something inside your thinking changes first. That internal shift is where all external transformation truly begins happening. Once you understand this, excuses lose power over your decisions completely. You stop saying, "I cannot," and start asking, "How can I learn?" That simple question opens doors that previously felt completely closed forever. Growth mindset is not about positivity, but about possibility and persistence combined. It is grounded in evidence that effort changes outcomes consistently over time. This truth removes victim thinking and replaces it with empowered action. You realize progress is always available, regardless of current situation or background. Every person has capacity to grow beyond present limitations through effort. The only requirement is willingness to stay consistent during uncomfortable learning stages. When you accept this, your entire relationship with challenges transforms deeply. You no longer avoid difficulty, but move toward it with confidence. And that shift changes everything about your future success permanently. Now let's bring this idea out of theory and into real life. Because growth mindset only becomes powerful when it is actually practiced daily. Look around successful people, and you will notice something very surprising consistently. Their journeys are filled with failures, rejections, and repeated attempts without giving up. What separates them is not absence of failure, but reaction to it. They treat failure as information that helps them improve their next move. Think of entrepreneurs who lost money before building successful businesses eventually. Most of them failed multiple times before discovering what actually worked. Instead of quitting, they adjusted strategies and learned from every mistake. That learning mindset turned losses into stepping stones toward eventual success. The same pattern exists in sports, education, and every competitive field. Athletes miss thousands of shots before mastering perfect execution under pressure. Musicians repeat same notes endlessly until skill becomes natural and effortless. Writers rewrite drafts many times before producing meaningful final work. Every mastery story is actually a story of repeated improvement cycles. There is no shortcut that replaces consistent effort and learning over time. Growth mindset people understand this and embrace the process fully without resistance. They do not expect instant success, but commit to long-term development journey. This patience allows them to stay consistent when others lose motivation quickly. Consistency becomes their hidden advantage over people seeking fast results. In your own life, this principle is already playing out every day. Every skill you have today was once something you struggled to learn. You probably failed many times before becoming comfortable with it eventually. That proves your brain is already capable of growth and adaptation naturally. You are living evidence that improvement through effort is real and possible. Yet sometimes you forget this when facing new challenges in unfamiliar areas. You assume difficulty means limitation instead of opportunity for development. That assumption is what growth mindset helps you consciously change over time. When you apply it, even difficult tasks start feeling manageable gradually. You begin breaking problems into smaller steps instead of avoiding them completely. Each small step creates momentum that builds confidence and clarity together. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes something you can handle. This transformation is not magic, but repetition of learning and persistence. Growth mindset turns confusion into structured learning process you can follow. You start asking better questions instead of fearing wrong answers. Better questions lead to better understanding and faster improvement overall. Instead of saying, "I failed," you start saying, "I learned something." That change in language reflects deep change in thinking and identity. Identity shifts from fixed performer to evolving learner, continuously improving. This identity becomes powerful because it never stops developing itself. Even setbacks become part of your progress instead of stopping points. You begin to trust process more than immediate results or outcomes. Trust in process removes anxiety from learning and performance situations. You focus more on effort quality rather than fear of judgment. That focus improves performance naturally over time without unnecessary pressure. Growth mindset also changes how you see other successful people. Instead of feeling inferior, you start seeing them as learning examples. Their success becomes roadmap rather than reminder of your limitations. You study their habits, mindset, and persistence to improve yourself. This turns comparison into inspiration instead of self-doubt or discouragement. Inspiration then fuels your own consistent effort and disciplined practice. Slowly, you begin noticing real improvement in your own abilities. What once felt difficult starts becoming easier with repetition and learning. Progress becomes visible, and that motivates you to continue further. This positive cycle reinforces your growth mindset even more strongly. Each win, no matter how small, builds stronger belief in yourself. Over time, your entire approach to life becomes more solution-focused. Problems no longer stop you, but challenge you to grow further. And this is where transformation becomes permanent and deeply rooted. Because you are no longer avoiding life, you are actively learning it. Now imagine making one decision that quietly changes your entire life direction. That decision is choosing growth over comfort in every situation you face. It sounds simple, but its impact on your future is extremely powerful because every major transformation starts with a single internal mindset shift. From today, you stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing opportunities. You begin asking yourself, how can I improve instead of why me? That question alone changes your emotional response to difficulty completely over time. You no longer avoid tasks that feel hard or uncomfortable at first. Instead, you lean into them, knowing growth happens outside comfort zones. This small shift slowly rewires how you think about your abilities. You stop labeling yourself as bad at something permanently or forever. Instead, you start saying, I am not good at this yet. That single word yet carries the entire philosophy of growth mindset. It keeps the door open for improvement, no matter current performance level. With this mindset, failure loses its emotional weight and fear slowly fades. You begin treating every mistake as useful feedback for future attempts. This removes pressure and replaces it with curiosity and learning energy. Over time, you become more willing to take risks and try new things because you trust your ability to adapt and improve through experience. That trust becomes foundation of confidence that grows stronger every day. You start noticing that progress is always happening, even in small steps. And those small steps eventually compound into massive long-term results. Growth mindset teaches you that consistency beats intensity in the long run. You do not need to be perfect, you need to be persistent. Persistence turns average effort into extraordinary achievement over time, gradually. When you keep going, even slow progress becomes powerful transformation eventually. You begin to understand that struggle is not stopping you, but shaping you. Every difficult moment is building mental strength you will need later. So instead of resisting struggle, you start respecting it as part of growth. This respect changes your emotional experience of challenges completely and deeply. You stop fearing failure because it no longer defines your identity. It only informs your next step forward in the learning process. That freedom from fear allows you to think more clearly under pressure. Clear thinking leads to better decisions and improved performance overall. Slowly, you start performing better in areas that once felt impossible. Not because difficulty disappeared, but because your mindset evolved significantly. You realize that success was never about talent alone or luck. It was always about willingness to learn, adapt, and keep going. That realization changes how you approach every goal in your life. You begin setting goals not based on fear, but based on growth. Your ambition becomes healthier, more realistic, and more sustainable over time. You no longer chase perfection, you chase progress and improvement daily. This makes your journey more enjoyable and less stressful emotionally. You start appreciating effort itself rather than only final outcomes, because effort is what actually creates lasting change in your life. And now you understand that your potential is not fixed at all. It is something you expand every time you choose to grow. So from this moment forward, you carry a new way of thinking, a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities and failures into lessons. A mindset that keeps you evolving no matter where you start from. because growth mindset is not a destination. It is a daily choice, and every choice you make shapes the person you are becoming. So choose learning when things get hard and effort when things feel uncertain. Choose patience when progress feels slow and courage when fear appears. Keep choosing growth even when results are not immediately visible yet. Because everything meaningful in life takes time, effort, and persistence. And those who keep growing eventually become unstoppable in their journey. Your success is not waiting in the future. It is being built now, through every thought, every action, and every decision you make today. And that is how a growth mindset transforms your entire life.